All right, so sorry about that. I had to pause. So looking at this problem, Jeff made 12 cookies. Here are 12 cookies and divided them equally among his 4 cousins. Okay, so we are sharing these cookies with 4 cousins. So let's add those 4 cousins and see what happens. So I got my 12 and I'm sharing equally with each cousin. So I'm going one by one until I get my answer. I am sharing the cookies with the 4 cousins. And that's going to turn out to give us 3 cookies per cousin. Oh, I think I missed one then, because that's just 11. And there's number 12. All right, so we have these, again, those 12 cookies, and we share them within 4 cousins, and each cousin gets 3 cookies. So now let's take a look at the other problem. So now this one is one of the grouping ones. So I have Jeff made 12 cookies and packed them into sacks of 4. How many sacks of cookies was he able to make? So here we're not sure, okay? We might know just because 12 divided by 4, we know what that is. But we're using a simple problem to kind of prove the point. Well, here I will need to take my 4 cookies. So that goes into one sack. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is a sack of cookies. So I'm going to represent a sack by another circle here. Let's make it transparent. Green. All right. So we have this green sack. So that's one sack of 4. So now I'm going to do another sack. Okay, and that now I have a second sack filled with 4 cookies. And I have 4 left over, and so that goes into yet another sack. But that's my 3rd sack. So in one case, I had 4 cousins, and I shared cookies with each one, and then got to find that it was 3 total cookies for each. And this one, I put them in groups of 4. And how many groups of 4 could I do? I could do 3. So what you're going to do now, okay, you want to find the what is this called? Page in your notebook that's about grouping or sharing. Okay, and so what you're going to do is you're going to read each problem. So it says, let's look at the instructions together, shall we? So it says, decide whether each of the story problems below involves the sharing or the grouping interpretation of division. Circle your choice. You don't need to solve the problems, but it may help you to think about whether the answer will mean how many items are in each group or how many groups can be made. And so I will go along with you on the video. Please be sure that you do the thinking. Well, you pause the video, you do the thinking and try, and then I'll show you what my thinking and answer is, and you compare that back and forth. And then depending on the time, I should have another activity in IXL strand to finish. But it'll all be up to you as kind of how much stopping and thinking that you've done. So if there is more time, to use that to try and finish some IXL and practice this, and if not, then that's fine as well. All right, so Frank picked 12 flowers. He divided the flowers evenly between 3 vases. How many flowers did he put in each vase? Is that sharing or grouping? That is sharing. Why is it sharing? I have the total number of things I need to share my total with. So I have this 12. I know it's like the cookies, the 12 cookies and 4 cousins. 12 cookies, 3 vases. How many flowers are going in each vase? All right, let's look at the second one. Erica had 20 baseball cards. She put them up on her bulletin board in rows containing 5 cards. How many rows was she able to make? Remember, pause and do some thinking. All right, so we have a total, and it's telling us how much each of the rows contain. So it's almost like the bags of cookies. So there was 4 cookies per bag, 5 cards per row. So this is grouping. I need to find out how many groups that they're going to make. Arius and his dad made 28 cupcakes for the bake sale. They put 7 cupcakes on each plate. How many plates of cupcakes were they able to make? Sharing or grouping? Pause and do your thinking. Grouping. Why? it's telling us how many on each thing and how many things do we need. How many groups are we going to have? Okay, how many plates? So our plates are a group. There are 7 pieces in each group. So how many plates or how many groups can we have? Kiara and her sister are collecting pennies. They have 120 pennies so far. They put their pennies into stacks of 10. How many stacks were they able to make? Is this sharing or grouping? Pause and think and do the work. Nope, it's grouping. So again, they're telling us we have groups of 10. How many groups can we have? Okay. Carlos has 15 toy cars. He wants to share them with 2 of his friends, so all 3 boys have the same number. How many cars will each kid get? So this is our sharing one. They even have it in here, right? They have that word share in there. So I have 15 divided into 3 groups, or 3 groups, and as a sharing thing. I see it's weird. It's that grouping. I wish there was another term for that, but that is a sharing. So I have this total. I'm sharing it equally with 3 people. And so how much is that going to be? F, Jade and her sister made $5 doing chores for their mom. They split the money evenly between themselves. How much money did each girl get? That is a sharing problem. To change it, to make it a grouping one, you could say I have $5. Each person gets $1. How many people are there? Then that's a grouping problem because I'm telling you how much each one gets. So you kind of have to start to think about the differentiation between those 2 things. All right, now let's see number 2. It says, read each story problem, then write an equation including the answer for the problem. Fill in the bubble to show whether the answer means the size of each group or the numbers of each group or the number of groups. So this grouping or sharing. Maya and her mother made 24 invitations to Maya's birthday party. They put the invitations into stacks of 4. How many stacks did they make? So pause and do the work. I forget to say pause sometimes. So this is 24 divided by 4 equals 6. So there's 6 stacks. Okay, does this answer? The answer. So this 6, the size of each group or the numbers of group? It's the numbers of group because they already told us the size of the group. The size of the group is 4. Okay, they already said the size of the group was stacks of 4. So how many groups are there? B, let's see what this says. Troy and his mom got a case of bottled water for the soccer team. They divided the 24 bottles evenly among the 12 boys on the team. How many bottles of water did each boy get? So go ahead and write that equation. So we have 24 divided by 12 equals 2. And the answer means, is it the size of each group or the number of groups? It's the size of each group. Because we already know the number of groups. The number of groups was 12. Okay, the number of groups is 12, and that means the size is 2 each. Choose one of the expressions below and circle your choice. Write a sharing story problem and a grouping story problem about the same expression. So again, you're going to have to think about this. You choose one, and then you go, okay, if it's 18 divided by 6 and it's a grouping problem or a sharing story problem, this is what it's going to look like. And 18 divided by 6 is a grouping story problem. This is what it looks like. And when you're finished with this, you're going to need to come in and show me so I can find me in the classroom so I can give you a thumbs up, or maybe you need to think about stuff, and then we'll see what time it is and go from there. All right, bye.